Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello everyone, welcome to this course on Circular Economy for Sustainable Buildings. As I had told you in the last class, from this class onwards, we will see holistically how eco-sensitive accessories are applied in buildings. So let's look at application of eco-sensitive accessories for multi-family housing. First, we will see the electrical accessory, under which we will see the electrical fixtures. Now, the role of switches is to control overall lighting features. The procedures are limited to turning it on and off, but we can introduce new technology and this can pave way for more tasks, such as we will be able to dim the light and also have better control of the home's lighting. First, we will see the programmable light switch. Now, a programmable light switch, it is designed to customize when we want the fixture to light up and go off. Most programmable lights have the settings that are found in most type and bands, and those settings or modes are manual mode, automatic mode, random mode and daylight savings adjustment. Next is, we can have electronic programmable timer switches. Now, if you look at the electronic programmable timer switch, these switches are designed with up to 7 daily on and off settings. So, they have multiple settings and random on-off cycles, and these multiple settings can be up to 7 settings. So, you can have a variety of settings actually if you want to use the programmable timer switch. So, these devices also come with other random settings that turns the light off and on even when we are not around. Usually, they are useful to make it seem to outside eyes that someone is at home. Next, we have the plug-in timer. What is a plug-in timer? This comes in handy when we want to automatically turn a lamp on and off without switching the lamp out for a programmable one. Here, we can set the timer for lights to turn on or off and plug it into a wall outlet and also lamp controls. So, we can have the programmable switches which will automatically switch on and off based on the time that you tell them. The time that you set the switches. So, these are all examples of in-wall programmable digital timer switch as against our regular switch that we normally use. Then let us look at the programmable light switches mode settings. What are the mode settings of programmable light switch? So, the mode menu or setting allows us to choose how we want the lights in the house to function, and they include a manual mode. So, what is a manual mode? In this mode, we can operate the light switches like any regular switch, like we have to use the button to turn the switches on and off. So, this is more a traditional control of lights and it is suitable for immediate and direct use. The second is automatic mode. In this setting actually allows us to turn the lights to go on and off according to the program that we have set. So, this offers scheduled lighting, which is ideal for convenience as well as energy efficiency. And third is the random mode. So, first is manual mode, second is automatic mode, and third is the random mode. Now, in the random mode, this setting does not feature a specific on and off mode. It is designed to give the impression that someone is in the house when they are actually away on vacation or for some other reason. There isn't a fixed program here. The light will go on and off randomly when this mode is enabled or kept in a operable manner. Then we have the programmable light switches, which have time settings. So, the time setting will allow us to set the timer at which we want the lights to go on or off. Under this, there are two primary light switch timer settings. First is the automatic daylight saving time changeover. When this setting is on, the time the lights go on and off automatically changes depending on the season. For example, winter or summer. So, this adjusts light timing based on seasons or based on the lighting levels. Next is the latitude and longitude coordinates. This setting will involve coordinates to turn the lights on and off at sunset and sunrise respectively. It will get on during sunset and it will switch off during sunrise. Typically, the latitude is set to plus 45 and longitude is set to minus 75 by default. But we can change the setting depending on our coordinates, and by doing that, based on the coordinates, it will be able to sense the sunrise and sunset time, and accordingly the light will be switched on or the light will be switched off. So, you can have a simple one button programming system, or you can set a timer. Timer can be for anything, 5 minutes, 10 minutes and so on, even up to 4 hours, and these are very quick and easy to install. So, here see, you can set the timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 30 minutes, anything. Then next is, what are the advantages of dimmers? So, we can have dimmer light switch. So, what are dimmer light switches? Dimmer light switches are very easy and handy electrical components that will allow us to adjust the light levels in a room by simply turning a knob to reduce the energy flow to the light bulb. So, we can have dimmable LED or CFL lights which are less than 100 watts, whereas in comparison the incandescent bulb is about 300 watts. So, we can have this dimmable LED lamp, or we can have dimmable CFL lamp, whereas if you look at the incandescent or halogen lamp, the electricity it consumes and the heat it generates is very, very high. Now, the advantage of using these dimmers is, first, they are highly energy efficient. So, one of the biggest advantages of dimmer switches is that they can help you to control the electricity flow across various lighting sources in your home. Dimming a single electric bulb can save you up to 30% energy, and your electricity bills will also come down. So, it is not just only energy or electrical saving, which is more an environmental aspect, but also reduction in electricity bill, which is also an economic aspect. Next is controlling the lighting system. So, you will be able to control its user friendly control. So, different types of dimmer switches are designed in such a way that they are extremely user friendly, making these dimmer very ideal to be operated by sliding up and down. Sometimes a much simpler mechanism is incorporated by using a knob. In addition to that, dimmer switches these days are designed with remote control mechanism, and that makes it even more convenient to the user. Third is effective mood lighting. So, now with the implementation of dimmer electrical switches, adjusting the ambience of the house can become very easy. For example, for parties or movie screens, you can have soft lights, whereas if you have to study and work, the dimmer switches can be used to brighten your electric lights. So, based on the function of the room, you will be able to create the desired ambience for various activities. Then the fourth is longevity of bulbs. So, dimmer switches are extremely useful in elongating the lifespan of the electric bulbs and LED lights. They have the ability to reduce the time duration of the highest energy point and hence increasing the longevity of various light sources. When it comes to electric lamps and chandeliers, dimmers play a great role in enhancing the flexibility of electric flow. And fifth is, they are very easy to install. So, dimmers are simple to install, especially in the existing setup. Also, if you look at typical life at full light hours and typical life when dimmed, you can see that for an incandescent bulb which we no longer use, the life can be enhanced by 5 times. So, at full light, the maximum life is 1500 hours, whereas when you use dimmers, you can extend it up to 6000 hours. For halogen lamp, typical life at full light is 3000 to 5000 hours, whereas when you use dimmers, it can be 3000 to 20,000 hours, 4 times increase in the life of the light. Non-dimmable CFLs are anyways, they have a lifespan of 6000 to 8000. But when you use dimmable CFL, it can the typical life can be 8000 to 10,000. Also, between non-dimmable LED and dimmable LED, there is actually not so much difference in the typical light hours of the component. So, if you are able to use a dimmer, then compared to 100% of its usage in terms of electrical consumption, a dimmer consumes only 50%, at least 50% less than the non-dimmers that can be used. Right. Now, let us look at light switches with motion sensors that can be used in multifamily housing. So, now it is an easy way to reduce energy consumption, because by using light switches with motion sensors, once the sensors get activated due to somebody's movement in the room, the light will switch on. So, these sensors are typically installed on walls and ceiling fixtures, which we have seen at great length in the first few previous classes. So, light sensor is a very energy efficient appliance. It can save energy when lights are not in use, and lights are turned off if the area is vacant or nobody is there in that area. So, the sensor will detect all movements of the heat of the person when they move inside the room. After they detect the person's presence in the room, it depends on a predetermined action like turning the lights on and off. So, if we are able to implement this properly, then it's a very energy efficient method and it can lead to savings of 25 kilowatts per month of energy per circuit. So, if we use dimmers in a residential building, then we can save 20% of energy, which is potential lighting savings. And if we have occupancy sensors, we can save 50% of energy. And if we have a combination of dimmer and sensor, we can save even up to 60% energy. That is the amount of energy savings we can have if we have these products. Then let us look at the lighting products. Now, a traditional incandescent bulb, it can use a lot of energy and losing most of it through heat. Of course, we don't use incandescent bulbs anymore. We are not supposed to use incandescent bulbs anymore. But my generation knows incandescent bulbs and CFL and LEDs were a new addition. So, we can have a whopping 90% of the energy required to use incandescent bulbs in losing through heat. So, in addition to not being a very effective way of lighting, it also adds to the heat or warmth of a room. This means only 10% of it actually goes towards producing light. Whereas, a CFL have a substantially lower heat loss factor, which is part of the reason why they use around 75% energy than a traditional incandescent bulb to create the same amount of light. Now, if we look at CFLs, CFLs are a very compact variant of fluorescent lamp, where the overall length is shortened and luminous efficacy is about 4 times higher than the incandescent lamps. So, CFLs use less electricity than traditional light bulbs. They reduce the demand for electricity, and that reduction means less greenhouse gas emissions, including the unwanted emissions from mercury and also from the power plants. CFLs contain a very small amount of mercury, approximately 4 milligrams in each bulb. So, when we use CFL lamps, we get higher luminous efficacy contraption that causes reduced electricity usage, which results in lower GHG gas emissions. Also, the amount of mercury content is very, very less. Now, if we look at LED lighting, LED means what? Light emitting diode. LED is light emitting diode. LEDs can provide benefits like it can be more efficient. So, efficiency is one of its hallmarks. Because it is efficient, it can lead to a lot of energy savings. also lot of power savings. They are available in a range of colors. They have long lifespan and they provide a number of application areas. So, LEDs are primarily designed to convert electrical energy into light through a microchip, which then illuminates the tiny light sources that produces visible light. In this process, up to 90% less power than traditional incandescent bulb or fluorescent bulbs is consumed. So, LEDs are directional light sources and they emit light only in specific directions, as opposed to incandescent and fluorescent lights which emits light in all directions, because the heat is also generated in all directions in the regular incandescent bulbs. So, LEDs are more efficient. They have wide applications, can be used in residences, commercial areas. They have long lives, making them durable, and also there is reduction in maintenance. Besides, they come in wide color ranges and we can have customizable lighting. So, if we look at a combination of LEDs, CFL and incandescent, when it comes to energy efficiency, LEDs are the best. Then CFLs come second and incandescents are not so good at all. Typical lifespan of LED is about 25,000 hours, so it ranks first. Of CFLs, it's about 8,000 hours, and incandescent bulbs is about 1,200 hours. Therefore, we can have extensive economic benefit. So, if you actually see the Bachat Lamp Yojana by the Government of India aimed at promoting CFLs and then LEDs ultimately, so that we can save a lot of electricity and energy. Now, let us look at smart lighting controls. So, we have seen smart sensors like dimmers, motion sensors, etc. These are regarded as one of the best appliances that favor energy efficiency. They give us smart lighting, and these devices can detect occupancy for controlling the illumination level and the power of luminaries. A combination of LED lighting solutions and smart lighting control can make a huge influence on the energy efficiency quotient of the space. Now, let us see what is human centric lighting. So, human centric lighting creates lighting that will actually mimic natural daylight, and this drives our bodily functions. Because of this, it can give us enhanced human performance, enhanced comfort, good health and general well-being. LED based human centric lighting is controllable and tunable across a spectrum of correlated color temperatures. It helps us evoke particular human biological responses and behavior in well designed indoor environment. Most common areas of application are offices or schools, hospitals, but they can be very useful in residences too, because by using these lights, they help us in our circadian rhythm, which is the body's 24-hour cycle. So, they can give us optimum coordination. They can give us fastest reaction time. In the evening, without any light stimulus, the body produces melatonin, which is a sleep hormone. Therefore, we get tired. In the morning, our melatonin level drops and the stress hormone cortisol programs the body for daytime activity. And in the and at night, these the light levels actually influence the circadian rhythm and the melatonin and cortisol production. This gives us deep sleep state, and then in the morning we start the work during daylight. This stimulates the formation of mood enhancers serotonin. We become fit and motivated. So, we can have lighting level which will help us align with the circadian rhythm, and therefore optimum production of melatonin or serotonin and cortisol, so that we are in sync with the nature or natural light variations. And then there are various types of lighting accessories which can be made from sustainable products, or biodegradable products, or products which are safe for the environment. For example, we can have lampshades made of lokta fiber paper. We know fiber is something that can easily go back to the soil. It can be decomposed. We have light covers crafted from hand woven paper. So, these are just example. Bulb holders from handcrafted and dark cork as a material, which is a natural material. Lampshades made of natural fibers. Floor lamps which are handcrafted from lokta fiber paper, and then faux concrete and water hyacinth fiber, and mounted on a hand cut stone base. So, these are all examples of the accessories that can be used for lighting in a multi-family residence. Now, next look at one of the cooling contraption, which is a ceiling fan. Now, if you look at ceiling fans, we can have energy efficient ceiling fans. Energy efficient fans or power saving ceiling fans, they use a minimum level of electronic technology to reduce power consumption. They are Bureau of Energy Efficiency 5-star rated fans and consume only 50 watts of electricity. These fans are an outcome of BEE standardization in energy rating of ceiling fans. They have rehashed the same regular ceiling fan which had lower performance in terms of air delivery to bring out a model which is energy efficient, and this option is a much better option. The only disadvantage is they don't serve the primary purpose of the ceiling fan thermal comfort, because the air delivery is reduced slightly to meet the low power consumption requirement. Therefore, we have what is called as super energy efficient ceiling fans. So, super energy efficient ceiling fans are used with enhanced semiconductor technology, and they consume 35 watts or even less with no compromise in air delivery. Because these fans have a BLDC motor, which we have already seen in detail, brushless DC motor, which have microcontrollers and save over 50% of the power consumed by regular fans. Their only disadvantage is their initial cost. But of course, the payback period from electricity savings can be recovered in 2 years or even less than that. So, if we look at a regular ceiling fan, it consumes more than 75 watts, whereas energy efficient ceiling fans consume a little less than 50 watts, and then super energy efficient ceiling fan with BLDC technology uses less than 35 watts. So, these are the various ways in which we can include energy efficient ceiling fans in residences. Then let us look at air conditioners. Now, a number of technological innovations are making AC units greener and efficient. One definite innovation is the use of R32 refrigerants in air conditioner, which is actually a next generation air conditioner. These are environment friendly refrigerants which are designed to save the ozone layer and reduce global warming. So, the BEE has launched the Standards and Label Program for RACs in 2007, and this is how it looks like. Now, if you look at the Indian seasonal energy efficiency ratio, then a 1-star rated air conditioner will give a minimum efficiency of 3.1, whereas a 2-star will give 3.3, 3-star will give 3.5, 4-star will give 4 and 5-star will give 4.5. So, you can see between 1-star and 5-star we can have a very high difference in energy efficiency ratio. Also, there are various refrigerants which have been compared for their flammability, global warming potential and toxicity. So, when we choose the best energy efficient air conditioners in India, we should look for the refrigerant which produced with alternative refrigerants such as HFC 32 or HC 290, which can be more energy efficient, especially at high ambient temperature such as India. In India, it is said that by the year 2050, a switch with lower climate impact refrigerant can result in 15% energy savings when we use R410A, and this switch can mean that we can reduce climate change emissions from room air conditioner in residences between 31 to 38%. So, we should be able to do this in order to understand that we have to reduce 1/3 global warming potential, 75% less CO2 emissions, better life cycle climate performance and zero ozone depletion potential with proper use of appropriate refrigerants. So, these choices will help us make a better refrigerant. Then let us look at some furnitures. So, the raw material which is used, the whole purpose of purchasing environment friendly furniture is to support the environment with recycled materials. Thus, it is important to be aware of recyclable materials which are used in sustainable furniture that require less processing and resources in order to create a furniture piece. So, we should avoid purchasing hybrid furnitures as they are not going to serve the purpose of recycling the material after years of use. When it comes to eco-friendly furniture, bamboo is the most sustainable material. It is durable, it is extremely versatile that it can be processed into a modern furniture. It is a natural and renewable resource, and the furniture made from bamboo is relatively healthier because you really don't have too much of chemical content in it. So, what makes a eco-friendly furniture? First is the materials. Low or zero environmental impact in terms of sourcing. Second is production methods. So, we can have small carbon footprint which can have positive or neutral social impact. Then we can have finishes which are low or non-toxic ingredients which have minimal or no off-gassing of harmful fumes. Then we should consider the life cycle, the product's impact from cradle to grave, end of life. Is it reusable? Is it recyclable? Is it biodegradable? Answer these questions and make your choices. So, we can go for natural and organic materials for their non-toxic furnishings. Like we can use hemp, organic cotton fabric, naturally talale latex, responsibly sourced solid hardwood and zero VOC strains. So, in terms of materials, we can be little more sensitive. We can also look at eco-conscious beds, platform bed frames that are crafted with upcycled and repurposed wood, and also lots of Tuma plants, which is a tree. A green sofa offers two repurposed fabric options, either recycled velvet or upcycled polypropylene. And you should try to use as much as recycled products in your furniture, and also environmentally positive or environmentally soothing materials which do not contribute to GHG. Then we look at the soft furnishings also. What are the options of soft furnishings? So, sustainable home textiles can have materials which can be used that do not harm the environment, and they can be organic cotton, hemp fabric, bamboo fabric or linen. Now, they all require very less pesticides and very less water to grow, or we can go for semi-synthetic material also like modal or lyocell. One another alternative is recycled fabrics, which are made from scraps of fabrics which are converted into fibers and then converted into yarns and fabrics according to end use. Recycled fibers have the potential to reduce the environmental impact of producing textiles to a very large extent because it takes use of wasted fabrics, which helps us to reduce the landfill load. Some examples of sustainable eco-friendly fibers are wool, hemp, cotton, linen, flax, bamboo, banana fiber, nettle fabric and pineapple silk. These are all sustainable, environmentally conscious fabrics. A study found that about 33% of airborne particles in our buildings are microplastic originating from synthetic fibers such as polyester, polyethylene and nylon, and these are used in carpets and rugs. So, synthetic rugs have known for ages for being VOC intense, and therefore they emit unhealthy chemicals that actually makes the indoor air quality very bad in our house. So, natural fibers sourced from renewable plant and animal sources such as wool, cotton, hemp, sisal, bamboo, seagrass, coir, jute, they can be used for rugs and carpets, and ideally to choose a material sourced closest to us can reduce the embodied energy due to transportation. So, in today's class we saw few aspects of holistically how we can incorporate eco-sensitive accessories and some methods to reduce the carbon footprint of the house and also to reduce the energy consumption. We saw lighting fixtures, we saw lighting switches, we saw the furnitures that can come in, we saw fans, air conditioners and furnishings in this first part. We will continue with what all can be done to reduce the environmental burden of designing and building in the next class on multifamily housing. Until then, thank you.